Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to work on mastering what we have just learned through doing a few challenges together. If our last lesson was just review for you, then you can skip this lesson. However, if last lesson was your first exposure to React, then this challenge and review will help you cement in what we learned for the first time. Let's take a look at 3 challenges I want to introduce you to. First, you want to create a new file. I'm going to make mine index2.html. We are going to copy and paste our previous code into this file. If you don't have that, then you can always go to the source code for this tutorial. Ideally, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to have the basic building blocks down by memory. Think of an athlete in muscle memory. You perform the same action again and again in practice, so in the real world, you're able to call on your skills naturally. With that said, let's go down to where our React content is. Inside the script tag, I'll list the 3 challenges. For the first challenge, I want you to render a paragraph to the DOM with the content, I am a paragraph. This should be straightforward, as you will just need to use a paragraph tag and put your text in between the opening and closing tags. For the second challenge, I want you to render to the DOM an anchor tag that links the user to the Google homepage. As I'm assuming that this is a course for beginners, I'll just throw out the extra hint that you will be using the href attribute in the anchor tag and the Google URL to accomplish this. Lastly, I want you to render an unordered list to the DOM and input 3 list items that represent things you need to do today. Alright, go ahead and pause the video and give it a shot. Even if you struggle, take at least 10 minutes to do this. The more you struggle, to a certain point, the more you learn when you see a possible implementation of someone else's code solution. If you do get stuck in a big way, watch me solve the first example, then pause the video again and give the next 2 challenges a shot. Alright, how'd it go? Let's solve these 3 challenges together. And like I said, if it was pretty straightforward, feel free to jump to the next lesson. Let's look at challenge number 1, rendering a paragraph to the DOM. I'll begin by commenting out our previous code. You could have deleted it as well, but it is nice to have it there as a resource. We'll begin with the React DOM render method, and we'll pass it 2 arguments. Our first is the what of React, the JSX. We'll just use an opening and closing paragraph tag with the text on the inside of I am a paragraph. Our next argument is the location in the DOM. We'll use exactly what we did last time, document.getElementById, and we'll set it to the location of the div with the ID of app. Alright, that should be it. Make sure that you save your code, and let's open up the Chrome browser and see if we were successful. There it is. I am a paragraph. Let's open up the Chrome Developer Tools. We'll switch from the console to the Elements option in the Developer Tools, and there it is. Like last time, we can see our paragraph tag and text rendered to the DOM. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to our code and take on our second challenge. If you struggled on the first example and had to watch this solution, go ahead and pause here and try to take on challenge number 2 on your own. Let's comment out our code that we just used to render our paragraph tag. You can also delete it if you would like. I'll leave it so it is in the final code for this episode. Our challenge number 2 is to render an anchor tag that links to Google with the text Visit Google. We'll move a little faster through these next 2 solutions without as many comments. We'll begin with the React DOM render method. Hopefully this syntax is really starting to kick in. What will come next are two arguments that you want to feed it, the what and the where. The what is the anchor tag. I gave you the hint earlier that if you use the href attribute, the hypertext reference, this is the HTML code needed to link to another page. We'll then type in the address to Google. We'll use the full long name, including the https://. Then we'll close out the anchor tag. Inside of that, we can place our text visit Google. Then we'll close out the anchor tag. The where is easy. We'll replicate exactly what we did last time because we are targeting the same DOM element with the ID of app. We'll use the document.getElementById and target that app. We'll open it up in the browser and there it is, a link item. We can then open it up and view it in the Chrome Developer Tools as well. Alright, last example, let's head back to our code. We'll go ahead and comment out the second challenge. A cool little tip if you don't know, you can highlight a chunk of code, and if you hold down the Shift and hit the Tab key, your code will indent backwards. You probably already know this, but if you didn't, you're welcome. Now, our third challenge is to render an unordered list with 3 list items you need to do today. Quickly, we'll type in our React DOM.render method. Now, we'll focus on the 2 arguments. The first is our UL tag. Now, inside of that UL tag, we want to list 3 list items. Here's a quick little Emmet tip. If you type in li, then the asterisk, which also serves as the multiplication symbol, then the number 3, and then press tab, you will generate all 3 link items. Pretty cool, right? Don't become too obsessed with shortcuts though. You'll spend much more time thinking about code than speed typing as you grow as a developer. Let's go ahead and put in 3 items you might want or need to do today. I need to get up. After that, I need to go to work. And then hopefully every day I find some time to exercise. Now, for our second element, we'll feed it the same as the first 2 examples, document.getElementById, and we'll target the ID with app. Let's go ahead and open this up in the browser. There it is, our unordered list. We again can open up our DevTools and see how this has been rendered to the DOM. Great work! I hope this has been helpful. Let's reflect a bit. If you are new, take your time, move slow, make sure you have comprehension. When you encounter something new, copy it. Then practice it again and again. Repeat something until it moves from new to familiar to routine. Becoming a developer is not a sprint, it's a marathon. We'll see you in the next lesson.